Hello and welcome. Today, we're going to have a look at Australiums and Unusuals. So, what do you think is the most desirable at the moment in the community? Honestly, I've been veering towards the Australium side a lot. Australiums are just, they just look so nice. The Unusuals are cool, but the Australiums just seem to be the most desirable in the community at the moment. I mean, really, people are kind of spending quite a bit of money just so they can try and get their hands on an Australium through the Man vs Machine tours. And these are obviously a lot of fun as well. A lot more fun than it is to unbox a load of piston crates and get a load of mercenary grade weapons or just a load of crap, basically. And really, it kind of works out cheaper because you have to spend time and effort to really get anywhere if you're trying to earn yourself an Australium through the tours. With Unusuals, you just have to keep unboxing those crates and boxes and crap like that, and you just gotta keep going and going and going and going, and it's £1.70 or whatever the hell it is for a key now. The prices of those are just going up and up and up. It's just getting more expensive and it's getting more of a waste of time. Now, of course, when you do eventually stumble upon an Unusual, they're generally stupidly valuable, like massively valuable. I said it in my last video, I'll say it again, they can be worth a hell of a lot of money. The Australiums, on the other hand, slightly less. I say slightly less, you know, a lot of them are they can be worth not a lot, like the Extinguisher and the Force of Nature and SMG and stuff like that. Weapons that nobody really cares about. Well, I say that, lots of people like the Extinguisher and the Force of Nature. Shh, we'll keep that on the DL. Yeah. Australiums like that, which are kind of cheap. I don't know why, maybe just loads of them have been given out or something. But yeah. Unusuals, they're all really expensive. Australiums, they can go from kinda cheap to really expensive, like the rocket launchers and stuff like that. The nicest of the Australian bunch. That kind of begs the question, is it even worth doing MVM for these Australiums? Is the payoff good enough? Would you just be better off forking out the cash for an Australium, a fancy Australian? Maybe you really want the Extinguisher. You know, that's like cheap as chips really, compared to most of the other Australiums. You could just fork out and buy the bugger. But then, on the other hand, you also get the experience of playing MVM. Honestly, I find it's a lot of fun playing MVM, simple as that. It's a lot of fun. You can meet some cool people on there. People can be nice on there. Usually they're tossers, but you know, we'll gloss over that. It's still a lot of fun. And you get good prizes. You get robot parts, and you also get the kill streak kits, which is important to mention, because you don't really get those from anywhere else. You always get these kill streak kits from completing tours. They could be crap ones, they could be good ones. And sometimes these kill streak kits, if you want to sell them on the community market or something, they can cover the cost of the whole tour, and more. Like on my last tour, I got a kill streak knife kit. I was like, well, I don't really use the knife, I always use the sharp dresser. So I thought, well, there's no point keeping it, might as well sell it. I got £3 for it, completely covered the cost of the tour. So in a way, completing the MVM tours and buying the tickets for that is a lot more viable than uncrating boxes, because I'm not sure what the drop rates are for Australiums and Unusuals, but I believe that the Australium drop rate is slightly higher than the Unusual drop rate. It makes sense, because Australiums are obviously cheaper, but then again, the Australiums have been out a lot longer than the Gunmetal and Tough Break Unusuals have been out. So it could just be that, obviously, along the span of the life of the weapons, a lot have dropped, and there's now a lot in the marketplace, unlike the Unusuals, which are still kind of being discovered. But of course, when an Unusual finally does drop for you, I mean, if it ever drops, obviously you hear those horror stories of someone's unboxed 1,000 crates and he didn't even get one Unusual, and it's disastrous, and they cry and kill themselves or something. But yeah, once an Unusual finally drops for you, it's payday. It is certainly payday, because well, you either get the pleasure of using it or the pleasure of selling it, and then your quid's in basically. You're going to be rolling in the money for a bit. Obviously, it's going to be filling that void of all the money you've spent on the keys, so maybe you won't be rolling in it, but who knows. Maybe one day you'll unbox an unusual and be in the money. Or, you know, get an Australium drop, playing MVM. That's what I do at the minute. I've kind of given up unboxing crates. I've unboxed a few, but I can't be arsed. It's too expensive. MVM's just more fun, so I just go through that. Hopefully get an Australian one day. So yeah, that's been a little look at unusuals and Australians. I kind of made this video because a couple of people mentioned on my last video that I never actually mentioned the Australian weapons. So here you are, here's a mention of the Australian weapons. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ra.